So I'm going to start. I mean, obviously we had the big injuries this week with Pecco and Hutch, and there's a personal side to it, and then there's a coaching side to it. Like there's two different pieces for that, and really the personal side. Well, let's go to the coaching side first. The coaching side is when you're in that football game, all you're thinking about now is, okay, who the hell am I putting in goal line? Who am I putting in short yardage? Who's in third down? So we have all of these packages for these players, and I want to commend our guys for getting through that football game. Losing two guys was a big deal, and then the personal side, you see those two guys who's worked their butts off for us, and now they're out. It's tough. Like it's just tough from a personal standpoint. Like coaching, playing, the games are going to be played, and we're excited about playing the football games, and we feel great about who we have. You just think about them not being there, and we got to get through it. They got to get through it. We're going to go play the football games, and then when you look at it from a coaching standpoint, it's a great opportunity for some of the other guys. Like that's the thing that I'm really excited about and confident about. We got Mac, who obviously got a big contract, earned it. And then we got Reader. We got a lot of guys that are going to play well for us. So we're excited to go play this football game.
From a coaching standpoint, when guys are seeing the reaction to the team losing Hutchinson and what it might mean for the season and things like that, can that galvanize a group as well to kind of lock in a little bit more?
Everybody has their own motivation. And if that's what motivates you, then great. It's we all got jobs to do, and again, it may motivate some, but for the guys that are real players, like they know what their jobs are, and so they go out and compete. And again, probably the toughest moment through all of it was when it initially happened. How are we going to react? And I felt like our guys did a good job of reacting and thriving really in that situation. When you coach or when you play and coach in this league, there's always going to be adversity. You just don't know when and where it's coming. And we got hit with two big players for us, but we also lost Davenport. We lost Kaminsky. Like people forget about these guys. Well, we don't because they're in the building. They're still around us. And so you just go play football. That's what our jobs are. And I feel great about who we have in our room going forward. So we're going to go play this football game on Sunday.
I'm sure you've talked to Aiden, just share the message that just sort of whatever you want to convey to him, I guess.
Yeah, we talked right away, and he's just processing everything, and that's really what he has to do. And I think more than anything, he just misses being around the guys, and so he'll be back. I mean, he's a warrior, and so he'll be back. And I love the person and what he's made of, and the football player is the football player. Like I've coached 14 years, a lot of players, all right, but you think about the people, and that's what we'll miss. But he's not gone. He'll be around.
Talking to Isaac after the game, he said preseason was all about flying around and just really leaning on his athleticism, showing what he could do, and then after making the roster and getting more involved in the scheme, it's more about learning how to play within the defense. You leaned on him pretty heavily after Aiden went down. He filled in for a lot of those packages you were talking about. Curious what you saw in those, how valuable those reps were, because I imagine he's going to be part of your replacement plan here.
Yeah, he earned the right to be out there, and when you play and coach in this league, you need guys. Ask the players; they want guys around them that they trust. And same thing with coaches. We want to trust these guys and make sure that that they're prepared when they go out there. And this kid's been preparing for his opportunity, and he went out and did a good job. And the thing you appreciate about him is that he got better as the game went on. And so As long as he can continue to do that, then we'll be in great shape. And it's not just, again, you look at one player. I mean, Isaac's got to play better, and he will. And then the other guys around him. We got a good group, like with Mac and with Reeder and Levi, and Josh Pascal's been unbelievable. Like the way he's worked and competed and all of those things. And I know sometimes we look at the numbers, but Josh Pascal's been one of our most impactful players the last couple of weeks when you look at it overall. So we got a lot of guys that'll kind of play their roles, and really that's all we're asking them to do is just be a star in your role. Don't be Hutch, don't be Pecco, be Pascal, be Uku, be Reeder, be Mac, and that'll be more than enough for us going forward.
You mentioned Mac. What did you like about his game last week besides the obvious, the 2 sacks, but what allowed him to get off the ball, I guess, at a different
He was
rate?
just more in an attack mode. And to be honest, I know we've made a deal about Seattle. To be honest with you, he started that in Seattle when you look at the way he was affecting the quarterback and doing some of those things. And really, he just picked it up. And he's a great player, a great teammate. And now we're going to count on him from a leadership role. But he just attacked the line of scrimmage and took advantage of his matchup.
Just got done talking to Dan, and he mentioned that this could be an opportunity for James Houston. Obviously, not the start to the season he probably wanted, but so how has he kind of been taking that mentally, and how have you seen him take it on physically?
He's had a good week, but we're still in the week. It's Friday. Like, we got Saturday, and then we got to go perform on Sunday. I mean, it's, this is on this football team, you got to earn everything that you get, and Houston's no different than the rest of the guys. Like, if you play well, you'll play. If you don't play well, you won't. It's as simple as that. Like, that's what Dan believes in, that's what AG believes in, and that's what I believe in. So we're all on the same page.
Go ahead, Jen.
Can you just lend a little bit of perspective of how difficult a guy like Aiden is to replace? It sounds like it's almost by committee that it's going to take multiple guys to fill this void.
You don't replace that player like that. And the other thing about it is we're not asking our guys to replace Hutch. Like, just do your job. Like, you got to replace the snaps. I mean, the guy played almost 90% of the snaps. Well, that means that other guys are going to play more. And you know what? Sometimes you never know until guys get an opportunity. So that group of defensive ends, the tackles, everybody, like we just got to go play football. But it would be it's almost disrespectful to say, okay, go replace this player, because that player is so impactful, not just on the field, but what he does off the field. But I feel totally confident in the guys that we're going to put out there, and they're going to do their job. So we'll see.
Josh, because he has been playing pretty well of late. He usually plays opposite Aiden, right? That big end sort of spot. Can he, be more of a pass rusher if you need it, or how do you?
Yes,
how does his role-
he can do. Again, sometimes we look at sacks, but the guy affects the quarterback, and so Josh has been doing a good job. I think this has been his best week of practice. He's more locked in, and he's accepting the challenge. And I think all of these guys are, like, they know. Like, you walk in the meeting room and that seat's empty. Like, they know that we got to pick it up. And again, it's a perfect challenge for us going up to Minnesota and playing against a 5-0 team, and they're riding high, and we're excited to go play up front. I promise you that.
I want to ask you about Isaiah Thomas. The measurables are obviously there. You talk to the guy, he seems to have the attitude that you look for. He seems coachable. I'm just curious, when you get your hands on a guy like that potential, how exciting is that as a coach to know that you can maybe tap into something that others haven't been able to quite yet?
It's very exciting. I mean, we know the guys in Cincinnati where he came from, and he's a smart kid, but we got one pad at practice, and so we just got to kind of see how he just how he develops and function going forward. But I would say that through 3 practices, Wednesday, Thursday, and today, he's done a good job for us. So we'll see. But it wouldn't be fair to get that kid and say, here, go play against the 5-0 Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. So we'll continue to get the kid ready and see if he's where he is in a week, you know.
Before you go, Broderick Martin's seems like he's getting close. We don't know when that window will start, but just seeing him work on the side, looks like it'll be sooner than later. Where did you feel he was there at the end of preseason? It seemed like a little bit more consistency with what we were seeing, and how excited are you to get him back in the fold, particularly after the loss of Kyle?
The thing I've learned, honestly, is not to predict. So until he's out there, I don't know, because I'm not a doctor or a trainer. I know he's working his butt off to get back out there, and we'll just kind of see where he is when he gets out there, because he hasn't played football since August. So we're in the middle of October, and so we're kind of in it now, and so we'll just see what he looks like when he gets out there. But I will say that before he got injured in August, you can see some improvement and see some of the things that we're coaching him to do. So we just got to wait and see. I don't know if it's next week or 2 weeks or 3. I have no idea with these timelines, and we'll just see what he looks like when he gets back out there now.
You've been around the league for a minute now, and obviously know some of the guys that other teams. When it comes to making a deal, a trade, that Brad, I know that's not your call, but how involved do you get in the process? Like, will they ask you opinions on people?
I swear to you, I have no time to worry about that, truthfully. And I'm not just saying that, I just don't, because you start thinking now you're like some fantasy football guy, and hey, what if we get, like, you just don't have time to do it. My focus is on the Minnesota Vikings and getting our guys ready to play, because you just don't have time. I will say this, though, is whoever shows up in the room, they're going to get coached hard, and they're going to have to buy into this culture. So if that's somebody from outside the building, great. If that's somebody from inside the building, great. But for me, that's why I'm defensive line coach. I'm not GM and head coach. I don't have time to do all of that. And I trust Brad and I trust Dan. They'll do whatever's best for the Detroit Lions.
Like, do they come to you and say, hey, this is who we're thinking of? You got any opinion on it?
We haven't been through that process yet, so I haven't been through a trade with these guys yet, so we'll see. Maybe ask me after. All right.